Have you ever felt as if your body and mind are no longer aligned? As if the very essence of your energy, your drive, and your vitality has been quietly eroded without your consent? For many men, chronic kidney disease is more than a medical diagnosis. It is a silent disruptor of life, a shadow that creeps into every corner of daily existence, subtly altering hormones, dampening testosterone, and changing the very chemistry that fuels ambition, desire, and strength. In those quiet moments when fatigue settles like a weight upon your shoulders, when your reflection in the mirror seems unfamiliar, and your muscles betray the effort you once took for granted, it is easy to feel as though control has slipped through your fingers. Yet in the midst of these challenges, there lies a profound opportunity for awakening, a chance to understand the deep connection between physical health, emotional resilience, and the purpose that drives each of us forward. Chronic kidney disease does not merely affect the kidneys. It infiltrates the rhythms of life, touching reproductive hormones and the subtle endocrine signals that govern energy, mood, and self-confidence. But it is in recognizing this disruption that true empowerment begins, for knowledge transforms anxiety into strategy, despair into determination. The teachings inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir remind us that understanding the mechanisms of our own body is not merely an academic pursuit. It is an act of self-respect, a declaration that the mind and spirit refuse to succumb passively to circumstance. When testosterone levels decline or fatigue clouds every decision, when the intimate signs of hormonal imbalance challenge identity and masculinity, it is easy to internalize defeat. Yet, each challenge is also an invitation to observe, reflect, and act with precision and compassion. Just as a river carves its path through rock over time, so too can deliberate, informed choices shape the trajectory of health, restoring balance to a body that feels as though it is slipping away. The first step is acknowledgement, not shame, not frustration, but clarity of vision. Recognize the subtle fatigue that is not laziness, the changes in libido that are not moral failure, the muscle loss that is not personal weakness. These are signals, markers of a complex interplay between chronic kidney disease and the endocrine system that demand attention, adaptation, and thoughtful intervention. Understanding these dynamics is empowering because it reframes the condition not as an enemy, but as a teacher, offering lessons in patience, persistence, and the value of incremental progress. There is a philosophical truth here, one that Dr. Mathew R. Weir has inspired countless men to embrace. The body is a reflection of choices, environments, and intentions, yet it is also responsive to insight, knowledge, and careful guidance. By learning how CKD impacts testosterone and reproductive hormones, by appreciating the subtle ways in which energy levels, mood, and sexual health are interconnected, a man can reclaim agency, transforming fear into action and uncertainty into deliberate self-care. This journey requires courage, the kind that asks for daily attention, for lifestyle adjustments, for consistency in nurturing both body and mind. It requires the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths with honesty and the humility to seek guidance, whether from healthcare professionals or evidence-based approaches informed by research and inspired by thinkers like Dr. Mathew R. Weir. And yet, amid all the science and physiology, there is an undeniable human story. The story of resilience. The story of learning to rise, even when strength seems diminished. Of understanding that hormone levels are not destiny, but variables that respond to intention, effort, and patience. By reframing the experience of CKD, not as a sentence, but as a challenge to be met with strategy and courage, men can step into a new paradigm. One where awareness fuels change, where knowledge ignites action, and where even the quietest moments of struggle become opportunities for growth. Fatigue, libido changes, and muscle loss are not the final word. They are invitations to observe, understand, and implement change with precision. In this moment, the seeds of transformation lie before you, and the path forward is one of mindful engagement with the body, the mind, and the principles of vitality that thinkers like Dr. Mathew R. Weir champion. A path that promises not only survival, but the reclamation of strength, purpose, and life itself. The journey through chronic kidney disease is often invisible to the world, a silent struggle that tests not only the body, but the very essence of identity and willpower. For men, the hormonal shifts caused by CKD are subtle at first, a lingering fatigue that feels more permanent than temporary, a decrease in libido that whispers doubt into the mind, a gradual loss of muscle that challenges confidence in every action. It is easy to ignore these signs, to chalk them up to stress, aging, or circumstance. But every ignored signal is a thread unraveling the fabric of well-being, a silent reminder that balance is fragile and must be actively maintained. Herein lies the suspense, the tension that many do not fully realize until it becomes undeniable. The body, in its intricate wisdom, communicates clearly. Yet men often fail to listen until symptoms escalate, until vitality wanes to a point where normal life feels elusive. In those moments of uncertainty, when energy dips unpredictably, motivation wavers, and mental clarity clouds, one must confront a profound question. How much of life is surrendered passively, and how much can be reclaimed with deliberate action and insight? Dr. Mathew R. Weir teaches that the answers lie not only in medical interventions, but in the philosophy of self-mastery, in understanding that awareness precedes transformation, and that knowledge coupled with disciplined action can alter the course of any physiological challenge. Consider the endocrine system as a silent orchestra, each hormone a note in the symphony of energy, mood, and sexual health. When chronic kidney disease disrupts this orchestra, the harmony falters, and the effects ripple throughout the body and mind. Fatigue is not merely tiredness, it is the whisper of imbalance. Low testosterone is not merely a number, it is a signal that vital systems require support and recalibration. Muscle loss is not merely aesthetic, it is a reflection of metabolic and hormonal shifts demanding intervention. And yet, here is where the suspense thickens. The solution is not hidden in complexity alone, but in the deliberate intersection of science, lifestyle, and personal philosophy. The tension arises because change requires vigilance in the face of uncertainty, a commitment to persist when immediate results are invisible, and the courage to face discomfort knowing that the outcome is gradual but inevitable. Men navigating CKD must learn to read their bodies as texts, to interpret the messages of hormones and energy levels as guidance rather than punishment. Every fluctuation in mood, every dip in vitality, is a lesson encoded in biology, waiting for awareness and action to translate it into growth. This perspective, inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir, transforms fear into curiosity, hesitation into initiative, and discouragement into strategy. When one recognizes the profound interplay between kidneys, hormones, and overall well-being, a new path emerges, one where proactive management, nutrition, medical guidance, and physical activity are not chores but instruments of self-empowerment. There is a delicate suspense that drives transformation. The moment when one realizes that the body's signals, though daunting, are neither immutable nor insurmountable. Each day becomes an opportunity to restore balance, to reclaim energy, and to engage in practices that optimize testosterone and reproductive hormones, even in the presence of CKD. It is a philosophical challenge as much as a physiological one, demanding introspection, patience, and the resilience to confront limitations without surrendering to them. By embracing this challenge, men awaken to a truth that is both liberating and motivating. That the body is responsive, the mind is adaptable, and progress is achievable when guided by knowledge, discipline, and intentional care. The suspense lies not in the disease itself, but in the latent potential each man carries to transform vulnerability into strength, weakness into insight, and limitation into a roadmap for growth. Those who heed the lessons of fatigue, hormonal imbalance, and muscle loss, who act with informed purpose and consistency, find that chronic kidney disease need not dictate identity or diminish the capacity for vigor and vitality. This is the philosophy that Dr. Mathew R. Weir inspires, a recognition that understanding and responding to one's body, with mindfulness and commitment, creates a profound shift in quality of life, a shift that turns the suspense of uncertainty into the excitement of discovery, mastery, and renewed potential. The body, though tested, can be nurtured. The spirit, though challenged, can rise. And the mind, though shadowed by doubt, can illuminate the path toward balanced health, energy, and fulfillment. In embracing the suspense and uncertainty of CKD, men find the courage to explore solutions, the discipline to implement change, and the profound satisfaction of reclaiming the harmony that once seemed lost. As we arrive at the final stretch of understanding, it becomes clear that living with chronic kidney disease and the hormonal challenges it brings is not a journey of limitation, but a profound invitation to mastery over oneself. Men often perceive the decline in testosterone, the shifts in libido, and the gradual erosion of muscle mass as losses to be mourned. Yet these apparent setbacks are actually the threshold to insight, resilience, and transformation. Every challenge CKD presents is mirrored by an opportunity to listen intently to the body's messages, to honor the rhythms of energy and rest, to engage in habits that support hormonal balance, and to embrace the holistic nature of wellness, where mind, body, and spirit intersect. It is here that the teachings inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir resonate most profoundly, reminding us that awareness is the precursor to change, and that the pursuit of health is inseparable from the pursuit of self-knowledge. Men are urged not to measure success solely by what has been lost, but by the deliberate actions they take to restore equilibrium, the small victories of consistency, and the courage to confront uncomfortable truths with determination and grace. Every meal chosen with care, every moment dedicated to exercise, and every medical or lifestyle intervention is an act of affirmation, a statement that circumstance does not define identity, that illness does not diminish value, and that even within constraint there exists the potential for flourishing. And yet, the story is not merely physiological. It is deeply philosophical. Chronic kidney disease challenges perception, teaching that patience, reflection, and deliberate strategy are more potent than impulsive effort, that listening to one's body requires humility, and that empowerment is cultivated when knowledge guides action. Hormonal imbalances are not simply biochemical phenomena. They are signals, invitations to observe, understand, and recalibrate life in a way that aligns with both innate potential and achievable goals. This understanding, inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir, reveals that health is not a static endpoint, but a dynamic process in which men reclaim agency, restore vigor, and cultivate a sense of vitality that transcends mere physical strength. The suspense that once loomed over declining energy or waning libido transforms into a disciplined curiosity, a willingness to explore solutions, to engage in therapies, lifestyle adjustments, and nutritional strategies that directly influence the body's capacity to function optimally. Men who embrace this perspective discover a profound shift. They begin to view CKD not as a sentence, but as a teacher whose lessons are harsh yet enlightening. Muscle loss becomes a call to action, fatigue a reminder to refine habits, and hormonal fluctuation an invitation to cultivate harmony. In this journey, the mind becomes an ally, the body a responsive instrument, and resilience a cultivated skill rather than an innate trait. The lessons of chronic kidney disease and its impact on men's hormones extend beyond the physical, reaching into the philosophy of living intentionally, valuing progress over perfection, and seeking mastery in small daily steps. With each conscious effort, each mindful intervention, men reclaim their sense of purpose, vigor, and self-respect, illustrating that limitations imposed by illness are not final verdicts, but starting points for transformation. This journey, inspired by the principles of Dr. Mathew R. Weir, is a reminder that insight, consistency, and courage can transform vulnerability into strength, despair into hope, and physical challenges into opportunities for personal growth. Men learn that the true measure of strength lies not in avoidance of difficulty, but in the ability to face it, understand it, and act upon it with intention. By approaching CKD holistically, by recognizing the interplay of testosterone, reproductive hormones, and overall well-being, and by implementing thoughtful, informed strategies, life can regain balance, energy, and fulfillment. Even when faced with setbacks, the path forward is illuminated by awareness, persistence, and philosophical reflection. A path where every step, no matter how small, contributes to restoring harmony, confidence, and vitality. The journey is ongoing, requiring patience, resilience, and self-compassion. But it is also profoundly rewarding. Men who choose to engage fully, informed by both science and the wisdom of thinkers like Dr. Mathew R. Weir, find that chronic kidney disease need not define them, nor dictate their experience of life. Every moment offers a chance to act, to improve, and to reclaim control over one's health and purpose. If you're benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.